We're not talking about how you got dropped by your agency, bud. A lot of people get dropped by their agencies and still do stuff. The problem with you is that you fucking spiraled. We watched it in real time. You fucking spiraled about Jews and blacks and gays, and it was like you were drunk with the, well, you were literally drunk back then. Owen Benjamin, folks. Owen Benjamin is was on YouTube, oddly enough. Had a bit of an interview, and it got kind of tense. Now, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but this is a very, very long interview. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. Now, I don't know who this lady is, but, you know, oof. Allison Morrow. I had to look this woman up. I'd never heard of this person. I love all these people that I've never heard of that have like 100,000 subs. Never heard of this woman. Now, from what I've watched so far of this interview, this woman was kind of sucking up to him a little bit. She was trying to play the whole middle of the road guy approach to things. She tried to be kind of like fake nice with him, but she was, it becomes very clear from this interview right away that she's trying to do a gotcha. She's trying to cash in on that Owen algorithm and do a gotcha. So let's check some of this interview out now.
We have a very special guest today, Owen Benjamin.
Oh, God, your voice matches your face.
Who is going to talk about being banned from Rockfin and other platforms for that matter, as well as towards his college fund. But
I don't want to hear
I'm starting to realize that if I want to have any degree of certainty about what I believe in, I really need to see it outside my window, which is why I've gotten really into like growing a garden and raising my kids and doing all that stuff. Because it's like, why am I going to focus all of my mental energy on stuff that's degrees of intellectual separation that I may never really have the opportunity to confirm, but I can tell you if I grew a cucumber, I can tell you what my horses look like, I can tell you what my kids are doing, you know, and I've been interested in your journey too, because it seems like you're moving in and have been for quite a while from a path of sort of Hollywood.
Yeah, you know, because everybody just has horses.
Frivolity and sort of illusion to trying to, I don't know, grasp onto something really real. So
I love listening to all these millionaires talk about fucking survival and fucking homesteading and shit. Oh yeah, I've got horses. That must be nice. I love these humble, salt of the earth millionaires talking about living off the fat of the land.
So it's been interesting to watch your journey. Since we're talking about that, let's talk about Beartaria real fast. What is Beartaria? For people who don't know.
Well, it's such a good question. It's
stupid for one.
Well, at first it started, it was right during the, I'm just trying to watch my language on YouTube. I don't know what they even flag anymore, but there was a quote unquote bug that was flying around 2.5 years ago, and everybody was kind of terrified. And so I wanted to redirect people's, money, attention somewhere.
Sorry. I couldn't resist. Oh fuck, man. So I wanted to redirect your money basically into my pocket during this pandemic, because I figured, there's one pandemic, there's going to be another one, and the government's just going to keep pushing us. So what I need right now, primarily, what I need implicitly is your money in my pocket.
Or positive, because that's usually what you do in times of trauma. And I could tell it was fake from the beginning. I was calling it out from the very, very beginning that it was somehow a illusionary, as you just described, tactic, because it wasn't in our world at all. And it was obviously being manipulated for financial reasons. And so I started getting people really into
giving me money,
into gardening, into stuff that they could do with their own hands. And so I would ask people for videos about their Beartaria. I came up with Beartaria. It's kind of like Tartaria. Everyone was talking about Tartaria. I'm like, that's also something we can't prove. It's also something from our past. And I almost saw the psychological effect of being like, look at these stone domes, look at all this stuff from our past, free energy. And I'm like, but what about right now? So I was getting people to send videos of their Beartaria, which is like where they're growing. I was trying to invert the inversions where it's like, instead of a hill to die on, it's a hill to grow on. You know, persistence is fertile. You know, a hill to, yeah, like a hill to grow on, not a hill to die, because people were getting so morbid. And so then we started crowdfunding for like a little piece of land in North Idaho to have weddings on and receptions and get-togethers and all this. And so we did all that. And during a time when people were not allowed to have weddings in their church, or they couldn't have funerals, or they couldn't have anything, like the whole world just shut down. And now people are pretending like it didn't happen.
By the way, I love this, that I had to look it up, because when Owen said Tartaria, which didn't exist, and I'm like, pretty sure that's just I had to look it up to correct me. Yeah, Owen, it's just a geographic area in Asia. It's real. It's real. Now, there were a bunch of like legends about how it was like a lost civilization and it was super advanced, right? But the place is real, Owen. It wasn't a made-up thing. Tartary or Tartaria, depending on if you're pronouncing it Russian or fucking Latin, is fucking a real place.
We tried to find a solution to that, and so we did. And during the COVID lockdowns, we had weddings and receptions and camping and all this, and then the media started attacking. The media went crazy and compared it to Ruby Ridge, of course, and all this stuff, and that I was somehow some cult leader, and it couldn't have been more the opposite. And the beauty is we have it all in documentary format. If anybody wants to watch it, at buildingbeartaria.com, there's 2 really good documentaries that we shot about it. And so,
you know, I hyper focus on how Owen pronounces some words. I hate the way he says documentary. Documentary sounds like some guy named Terry who just works in an office. Oh, you mean documentary? Yeah, in the back. It's documentary.
Yeah, that's what that was. It's a good time.
Not documentary.
I thought you guys did a really, I mean, I haven't watched all of it, but I've really enjoyed what I've seen so far.
So you haven't watched it all.
And edited, and I love, this is one of my favorite opening parts.
Yeah, when somebody says, yeah, you know, I haven't really seen the whole thing, but I checked it out, I liked what I saw, that means that they watched it the way Royce watches a video on ROTC. He just skips around randomly. Oh yeah, it's a 30-minute video. I watched like, I don't know, 45 seconds of it. I get the gist. Yeah, I like what you're doing.
Parts of it, besides the fact that you can tell how cold it is and the coffee, or it's just very Baroque, I guess. But the one thing that I thought was interesting was you guys start with all of these quotes from the ghosts of Christmas past, I guess. These comedians from like Joe Rogan to Theo Von to Whitney Cummings, and you know, and I'm curious, as somebody who kind of has made that transition from, I don't know what do you call them now? Just establishment comedians? Like what would be your word for the in group?
Gatekeepers. Because they literally do gate the they keep the gate. So so Owen, this is the thing about Owen that, well, one of the many things about Owen that bugs me, right? Is he talks all this shit, right? Calls them gatekeepers. He condemns Rogan. He condemns all these people. They're all satanic. They're all helping to, you know, propagate this fucking new world order or whatever. They're all evil, right? But when he wants to make, he still loves that they thought he was funny. You know what I mean? Like he still
deep down, he still is like, he cites the very people he condemns and goes like, oh yeah, like fucking Joe Rogan. The guy, Joe Rogan's literally 5'1". He's a Satanist. He's a gay Satanist. But then as soon as he's making a little highlight, a little sizzle reel, he has to include Rogan. Oh, I was on Rogan. Well, why are you bragging about being on a gay, sodomite, pedophile, Satanist show? You should eschew all that and forget about it and put it in the past. You know, if a porn star quits porn and becomes a born-again Christian, she's not going to go to church and brag to everybody about how she was, you know, 2018's anal scene of the year. They're going to let that part of their resume go. It's the, you know what I mean? Like, it's, if you truly, like, it's like a drug addict, right? If you are a drug addict and you quit doing drugs, right? If you want to successfully remain off drugs, what do you generally do? One of the first things you do is you usually cut out all of the people in your life that are still using. Because you, and it's not, some people get a little too like, oh, because I'm better than these people. It's like, that mentality's shitty, but you should get away from those people because it's like, for your own health, it's like, you know, there's a way to say, look, it's not personal. I'm not judging you guys. I just can't be around this anymore because this isn't who I am anymore.
Establish what you're allowed.
Or you get addicted to something else. Yeah, Graybeard. You can actually get it. You know what's weird is, to me personally, the thing that's very weird is people who get addicted to recovery. I don't think enough people talk about that. Like, yeah, I get it, man. If you're fucking shooting up heroin and killing yourself and fucking, you know, you have an addictive personality. Some people just have obsessive addictive personalities. And anything they find themselves getting into, they're going to dive into it all, like, wholeheartedly. They're always going to be that way, right? So for some people, it's like, all right, this guy, yeah, but Brandon Novak is the best example. He's addicted to recovery. And he also profits immensely from it, which is kind of shady. But I understand if you're like a fucking low-bottom dope addict and now you're replacing it with being obsessed with recovery. Fine. It's still an improvement, you know? But this whole fucking thing, man, Owen still clings to that old life. He still wants to be there, man. A part of him's never going to let it go.
How to make fun of, and if anyone goes past that, they get shut down. And so a lot of people don't understand what gatekeeper really means. It's kind of like handler, like the handler of the mass consciousness. So, you know, Dave Chappelle and Bill Burr and Joe Rogan, and these guys are the ones that establish the line, and that's as far as you're allowed to go with intellectual thought or mockery or questioning. Because the comedian has something called Jester's privilege, where you're allowed to make fun of the quote unquote king. And so during the nonsense with the masks and all that stuff, it was our job to make fun of it. It's our job to make fun of the Me Too movement, or our job to make fun of David Hogg, or any of these like topics that I would get in so much quote unquote trouble for. They were tending the gate. And so the gate says, you know, not until this time can you make fun of this. You can't make fun of this foreign policy or blah, blah, blah. And so, you know, sellouts. And it's kind of like someone sells their name, sells their audience in exchange for money. And I used to be more angry about these people, but now I'm not at all. I think they're selling out themselves because, you know, one of the sayings in the Bears is no one's having more fun than us. And that's true. I mean, I've been kicked off, forget about Rockfin, Airbnb, PayPal, Venmo, Vimeo, YouTube, all of it. It's just like every Patreon. I was in a lawsuit with them for 2.5 years because they were trying to monitor my off-platform language. It was a joke that's now hacky. That's the thing that makes it so funny. Is in 2 years when people ask, hey Martin from Rockfin, like, what did you kick Owen off for? It's going to sound absurd, but what happens is they just have this mentality like, oh, Owen's
okay, you're just going to babble. Come on, let's get through it.
What's happening. And I'm like, our own platforms. And that's the way to go. You know, I have a much more enjoyable life now than I did when I was wondering what everyone thought of me, you know?
They do seem to be a little bit bewildered by the whole like wilderness thing. I mean, didn't somebody say in the opening he's got weapons and skills? Some guy, like a podcaster, was like, he's got weapons and skills.
Oh, Anthony Cumia, yeah. He sounded terrified, even though Anthony Cumia's faced like domestic violence charges.
Correction, Owen. He pled guilty on domestic violence charges. I feel like that should be. I feel like Owen, as a guy who has said some shit to the extreme, like as a guy who's always said really extreme, blindly extreme statements, you went way too easy on that one. You're like, you know, guy who got arrested for domestic violence. No, he pled guilty to biting and choking her. Fucking Jim Edwards still with the Mike David, he bites. Yeah, so I don't think you needed to pull that punch there, Owen. I think you're okay, Big Bear. You're not open for any kind of lawsuits.
But I'm scared.
By the way, people are pointing out Owen does look kind of fat. He is look like he's getting chonky, which I don't understand. If you're doing all this, well, no, honestly, that shirt's really loose. I don't think Owen's super fat. I think that Owen is still wearing fat boy clothes. If I'm being fair here. Clyde says, Kumi is only going after Owen because of Gavin. I lost any of the respect I had left for Anthony. I mean, look, I don't know why you had any respect left for Anthony. That's fine. But that's your prerogative. But people are going to look. I'm not defending what Gavin did is a scummy move. And Anthony's a scummy guy. But, like, people are going to back up their friends, man. Period. I back my friends up. You know, I might even back my friends up if they're wrong. That's what friends do, you know? Let me see. I don't know. Maybe he does look like, he definitely looks like he's chonky, but look, I will say this. I don't think Owen is as fat as these clothes are making him seem. I think he's wearing some of his old fat boy clothes. Because if you're going to work in the fucking dirt all day, you might as well wear your old fucking clothes you're going to throw out anyway. Oh, somebody's saying he is huge now? Okay. Well, I didn't know.
And yeah, it never ended up.
Oh, here we go. This is where it gets good.
Like why I've been kicked off internet banking. It's just absurd.
All right. Before I want to ask you about, you brought up the coverage like from the Spokesman Review and the mainstream news about Beartaria and what you're doing and everything. But I wanted to ask you about the criticism you've gotten from like alternative media folks or, you know, people who like, let me show you this.
Don't click on Reddit. Don't click on Reddit.
I'll bring it up later. There's a Reddit thread.
You're going to sour the mood, lady. He doesn't look happy right now.
There's a Reddit thread. Yeah, here we go. I got it. Where somebody talks about, you know, in a nutshell, what is Beartaria and who is Owen Benjamin? And this is what it looks like.
Real quick before we go though, is the author named or are they just trolling?
Semtext 12.
Exactly. That's not valid. Like we can go through and read everybody's BitChute comments, but that's not real. This is total bullshit. Like Owen Benjamin is a D-list ex Hollywood who's grift and LARP. I lost my agent and manager because I called out the trans hormone abuse on kids, specifically a guy named Jesse Thorne. That's the fact. People on Reddit with no names and no faces that are most likely a bunch of sick people want to pretend like I'm a failure. So then I went to start homesteading. When in reality, I have all the documentation. Wait,
isn't Semtex an explosive?
fact that's what happened. I was repped at CAA, Principado Young, and I was currently on a college tour when I was openly tweeting about Jesse Thorne's 5-year-old he was going to put on hormone blockers. They said that I had to either apologize or, you know, go back on what I was saying, or else they were going to drop me. I would not go back. They dropped me. So then I started a career outside of that. I had 250,000 YouTube.
But this is the part where he doesn't like to own. He doesn't like to own his own shit. He won't own the parts of the story where he's at fault. Yes, Owen, we know you were outspoken about the trans kid. I know that you got dropped from your agency because you fucking stood your ground. And for that, I commend you. I actually do commend you for that. The problem is that you're one of these guys that you think that because you embarked on this story as the good guy, you're always going to be the fucking good guy. And everything you do now, the ends justify the means. We're not talking about how you got dropped by your agency, bud. A lot of people get dropped by their agencies and still do stuff. The problem with you is that you fucking spiraled. We watched it in real time. You fucking spiraled about Jews and blacks and gays. And it was like you were drunk with well, you were literally drunk back then. But you were also drunk with this dopamine rush of people giving you super chats and people going, yeah, get those fucking Jews, Owen. Yeah, get them, girl. And you just kept going and 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 going harder and going harder and going harder. Look, Owen, I said years ago when I was covering you, there are ways to make you jokes and get away a little bit with some stuff, get a little spicy sometimes. But you were just putting on a fucking a high quality Happy Merchant rubber mask and going, oh, wars, oh, banking. And it was like, dude, you're going to get in trouble, man. You're going to get in trouble, dude.
Ooh. See, the funny thing is people would call this anti-Semitic, but yet you can dress up like a vampire and no one's like, oh, that's anti-Romanian. Like, you can dress up like a vampire and people are like, that's an exaggeration of a Romanian. Is Vlad the Impaler, the vampire, right? You can dress up like a werewolf and Harry Bear doesn't get mad that you're making fun of Armenians. Like, you can be a sexy murder nurse and nurses don't care, but yet... All right.
What's next? Genocide! What's next? Genocide!
Hey, look, I'm the Saudi Arabian royal family. Welcome to Saudi Arabia!
We swear we're Muslim.
So funny.
What's next? Genocide!
Oh, you can't do that. Yeah, the fuck I can't. I just did. Subscribers. I was self-producing my own stand-up, selling it on Vimeo. It was doing really well. You can still get them on Amazon.
By the way, bud, about a week or two till you get your nuts clipped.
And so then they started hammering.
Got to do it before we move.
Me again. Owen Benjamin's this, cult leader, racist, bigot, homophobe, all this stuff. And then that's all Reddit is. Reddit is like the bowels of the world. It's like YouTube without any content. It's just comments. And so look, that has 20.
That's actually pretty on. I got to give that to Owen. I will give you that. That was right on target. That was absolutely right on target. That's exactly what Reddit is. Reddit is just YouTube comments. but with no content.
6 upvotes. And
yeah, no, and I mean, I'm not even bringing it up because the person's legitimate or whatever, but because I've gotten this comment from other people also, like in the chat, okay, that Beartaria was a way to just make money. This is what this person says, and I've gotten this question, so I want to throw it your way so you could respond to it. That it was just a way to raise money so you could get a homestead, and people like pay you to work on your land, and it never ended up becoming what it was purported to be.
Yeah, that's insane. That's not.
No, I mean, it's pretty
provably false.
Well, but that's. Wait, hang on. Did people give you money, Owen? Yes or no? I believe the answer is yes, right? Did the same people that gave you money come to the land that you bought with their money in your name and then tend that land? Because I'm seeing you and some of your bears, and I see them doing work on the land, and I know they gave you money to buy the land in your name. It sounds like that's exactly what you're doing.
Between us, we have a shit ton of other skills in the trades, and I personally am at your service for all that you've done for us. I was somewhat regretful that I wasn't able to buy into Ursa Rio. Yeah, but that's not how it ended up working. That was the original plan with this commercial property that we couldn't get. So don't worry about it. It's just a place where we had 700 donors. Those people will be invited to events that we have there, or get-togethers, or camping a few months of the year. And then so to make up for that, I put a lot of money, not a lot, but towards shooting the documentaries, because that $400 is basically you're a part executive producer of the documentaries. The first thing we did was high five and crush, drink some milk. The second thing we did was to put these 8x8 or 7.5 by 7.5 beams up on the foundations that we laid before. The builder buddies that showed up were incredible. Great Odin's Raven Bear, who brings up everything you can imagine for a build. He brought up a fully functioning mill so we can make our own wood out of trees. Apparently, allegedly, wood comes from trees. Put a lot of money, not a lot, but
I would love to squeeze this audience for like $250,000 and buy a house with a big ass yard, and then con the listeners into coming to my house and doing everything for me. Hey guys, thanks for buying me a house. Now I need about 20 of you to come over because we're putting a pool in. And I don't know how to do that shit. I need concrete workers. I need people to design it. You guys just go. Come on. I know you guys just bought me this beautiful fucking land, but now I want to put a pool and a screened-in porch. Get to work. Let's go. Move it, move it, move it. They're paying him to be their friend. I know, and that's exactly what we always try to avoid around here, man. That fucking weird parasocial shit.
I didn't make a dime on any of that.
Because, by the way, Owen's the kind of guy that's going to be like, yeah, we're all bears. We're in this together. I would never let you down. When push comes to shove and the Chinese are nuking us, don't worry. We're all going to have each other's backs. Whereas, I'll be the first to tell you, once the nukes start dropping and there's no more shows to do, and we're out here in a fucking Fallout future, I will shoot you right in the face and take your food. Owen's like, yeah, man, we're all going to hunker down together like bears. We're going to stick together. I'm like, no, man, end of the world's coming. Don't even turn your back on me, homie. $400,000 he raised. Whew. You know what kind of land that buys out in the Midwest? Jesus Christ. But I'm at least honest with you. You know what I mean? I'm at least honest. Don't turn your fucking back on me, bro. He'll be like, no, we got each other's backs. And then he'll shoot you in the back. L7, you promised Mersh a stand with cats and no blacks. Well, now I have Clarence, so I obviously can only deliver one of those two promises.
I bought land with it. Every bit of it went to get that land. I haven't used the land in a year because of because people like you, no offense, take those people seriously. And so people
I'm asking you because I was
have
just
1 hour
curious.
to talk and you bring up a Reddit thread and have me comment on something that literally isn't true at all.
But it's he honestly, he really fucking, he hasn't changed. He hasn't fucking changed. MT said 400K buys a lot less than you'd think in the Midwest. Yeah, well, I mean, it still buys a lot more than it would in Florida or New York or California. I'm not saying you're going to be able to buy a fucking Bill Gates fucking sized farm, but dude, he's in Idaho. Idaho, you got $400,000 in free other people's free money. Plus, he's got money. He can make like 400 grand. You know, he probably bought more than 400 grand worth of land. You know, try hard saying Idaho isn't the Midwest. Fine, the Northwest. Whatever, man. Shut up. It is the Midwest. All right. Everything between Chicago and like fucking Oregon is fucking the Midwest. Stop it. You Midwest motherfuckers. Everyone's always denying that shit. We're not in the, no, man. We're in our own. We're part of the Dakota Territory. What is this, 1846? No, we're not in the Southeast. I'm technically part of the Louisiana Purchase. Shut up. Thank you. Thank you. It's all the same shit. All right?
I bought this land after selling my house in Washington. And I sold 2 houses in New York that I was renting out that I was no longer allowed on Airbnb. You want me to respond to Reddit comments? That's what you want to do with my time for an hour?
But this is Owen hasn't changed, bro. No, I thought you were just going to come on and have me on for an hour and lob softballs at me and suck my cock. I didn't know you were going to actually ask me some hard-hitting questions. I didn't know you were actually going to ask me about things I didn't want to talk about. This is bullshit. What are you, some kind of hack? Where'd you get your media degree, lady?
No, Owen, I'm bringing it up because I've gotten like 10 questions about it, and so I wanted you to be able to respond to it. Because if it's not true, you know, I don't know, and there's other stuff like that in this article. So that's, since I do mainstream media bias and I know that they get stuff wrong a lot, I wanted to throw it your way so you could correct the record.
So you think I'm an ex-comic starting a Ruby Red style compound? You want me to?
No, this is. I told you I was going to show the Spokesman review. Remember, we talked about this before we went live.
That guy's not even in a wheelchair. That guy fakes it. We went to his house. It's in the documentary. I've addressed all of this in the documentary. But if you want me to again, yeah.
I showed it at the beginning.
I'm not running a scam. That's crazy. And the
That's
people
crazy,
on Reddit
guys.
are not depicting me properly at all. But if you want me to talk about that, I will. I'm also not trans. I'm 6'8". Okay, I'm not transgender. My wife didn't leave me 4 years ago. I actually got 3 more kids out of her. All right. I'm not running a grifting scam. In fact, I'm one of the most honest people on the internet. Like,
Owen. Come on. Owen. Come on. Come on. When you look, Owen, there are certain declarative statements you never want to make about yourself. You never want to say, I'm one of the best dudes ever. I'm one of the nicest guys ever. I'm one of the smartest guys ever. I'm one of the most honest people ever. These are not things people who are these things would say. You know? There have been plenty of people out there who have been ethical, good-natured human beings who, generally speaking, Mother Teresa did not go around reminding everyone every 10 minutes what a good person she was.
I try to be a good person, but like I know I'm gonna enjoy when some of these people die. I'm not.
Just want to point this out. The man who preaches Lord Jesus Christ, the man who is more religious the way he talks than Mike and I, than you, the man who talks about Jesus is the way, the life. By the way, for somebody who's so Christian, he never goes to church.
Einstein never felt the need to constantly remind people how flippin' smart he was. He was too busy, you know, figuring out fucking whatever, where space dust comes from and shit. Ain't time for that shit. You know, like, why? Who says these things? I am the most honest dude on the internet ever, ever, ever. Nigga, we all lie. Shut up.
It's just total slander. And so I don't know why people like that shit. Like Gavin McInnes faked an FBI raid. But yet
that was
no
the
one
other thing
cared.
I was going to ask you about.
You know, pretending to be raided by the FBI, but yet I try, because I don't even get to enjoy this land. Like we're currently crowdfunding land for Missouri so that they can do.
And by the way, I like how Gavin and Anthony did the old fucking, you know, the old fucking quartering Andy Worski move, right? Like, as soon as Owen called out Gavin McInnes' fucking scam, Gavin and Anthony went full attack mode. Oh, well, what about Beartaria? What about that scam you did in Idaho? What about that? You knew about this stuff, right? Like Gavin was like, oh, it's a joke, whatever, because Gavin's grifting, and he figured you're a grifter. You're all grifters, and we're all grifting, and we're all going to get along. You didn't expect Owen to fucking throw a goddamn pipe bomb into your shit and fuck your whole scam up. So then all of a sudden, all this shit that now is morally repugnant, now all of a sudden, you're like, look at that. What's up with this Beartaria, boys? But you guys knew about Beartaria. You helped him promote it for a while. You helped him promote it until there came a time when you couldn't do it anymore because he fucked you over. So none of this shit's real. None of this shit is real. These people do that. Same thing that Andy Worski did. When he left the fucking kill stream, then it was all the shit I've known about Ralph for years. He's morally repugnant. The shit I have on Ralph would make you people vomit if you heard it. And you're like, so you stayed friends with him for like 2 more years? Became his co-host? You rode his coattails till you didn't need to anymore? And now you got all this dirt on him, and I'm supposed to be like, oh, but you were cool with him when you were cool with him, and it was cool when you were cool with him, and now you're not cool with him. It's not cool anymore. The quartering, same thing. Quartering gets fucking thrown out of these Magic the Gathering things, which, by the way, you're an adult man. Grow up. Quartering gets thrown out of Magic the Gathering get-togethers, and now all of a sudden he's got a fucking dossier a mile thick, all with the dirt. Every pedophile in Magic the Gathering, names, dates, their residences, their fucking social security numbers, camera footage. This guy this guy had more fucking information than the goddamn National Security, Department of Homeland Security. And all of a sudden, he's ready to burn the whole goddamn thing to the ground. But it wasn't until they kicked you out. So what was it? You were just playing card games with all these pedophiles for years? And it was like, oh, I'm okay with the pedophilia. Oh, wait, you're kicking me out? Oh, I'm telling everybody here's a pedophile. It's like, dude, come on, man. Stop it. It's so disingenuous, man.
Do skill building exercises, all kinds of stuff. I'm going to be able to go once a year, maybe.
Cherokee says, what was Gavin's grift? I thought it was a bad joke from an unfunny dude. It was a grift. He fucking lied about getting raided by the FBI, and he had all of his employees on Twitter pushing speculation that he was in prison. He was at some CIA black site prison or whatever. And then all of a sudden the donos started rolling in. That by the way, that Defend Gavin website is still up, and his fucking fans are conditioned to know where that website is. So they thought he was locked up. So they probably donated a fuckload of money. And then he was never going to come clean and tell anybody that he was never raided by the feds. That is not a joke. It's not a grift. That is a grift. That's not a joke. That's a scam.
And so I use my platform to help other people. And if that draws ire and anger from people on Reddit, and it's crazy. Those people have attacked my house. Those people have sent CPS to my house. They've sent animal control. They've done all kinds of crazy shit. They've tried to swat me like 5 times. It's gotten me closer to the police. So sorry if I'm getting a little snappy with you, but if you just did a little bit of like, you know, this isn't like fun and games when I have to sit down with CPS because Reddit has made a thread that I'm selling child porn and crack cocaine out of my house. You know, that's
fucked up. But child porn and crack cocaine, it's like, it seems so goddamn, man. Every time people try to, like, these people do this shit from Reddit, always try to fuck with people. They always go way too hard with it. They always make it seem so ridiculous that, like, they'll come follow up, but then the cops are like, I don't really care about this. It's like when somebody called Crime Stoppers and said that I was doing like insane amounts of, like, they said that I bragged about doing cocaine, methamphetamine, Molly, heroin, or like pills or something, and weed and booze, all during road rage. And I was like, and even the cop was like, man, they listed so many things that if I'm talking to you on the phone right now, I would think it's pretty impossible that you did all those drugs. You would be dead. I'm like, yeah, no, like, we smoked a little weed and shit on weed. Who cares? Like, you know, I mean, there was no real big fucking drug orgy going on or anything. And they did the same thing with him. But I feel like if you're selling child porn, I feel like you're either selling child porn or you're selling crack cocaine, right? Otherwise, you're wearing too many hats. There's just too many. There's too many. You know what I mean? That's like saying, you know what, man? I want to open up a business. I'm going to open up a coffee shop that also does oil changes. You're like, well, you just pick one. I feel like your overhead's going to be crazy. It's a little too much. Just pick one. Either run a really good mechanic shop or run a really good coffee shop.
Not journalism to take that seriously and to then confront me with it on an open platform. So I know that people like you that have been in mainstream journalism don't understand that what you're doing isn't journalism. It's like actually like very demented and demonic. You want to write about journalism, like write about something positive, like actually look.
Yeah, that's right. Only write positive things about me. And I like that he's like, you should have done your research. That's why she was asking you. That is research.
At stuff. Don't quote these sick bastards on Reddit that have tried to make people's lives a living hell.
No, I mean, I'm glad you brought all that up because the whole reason I even went to the Spokesman article and that is because I realized the damage that it does, you know, and I realized that like for years I participated in saying stuff like that without even asking the person, you know, what's up. And so that's why I do throw it your way, just because it's like, you know, if this is what the Spokesman review is saying. Hi. Sorry, my daughter just walked into the room. She must have known it was a code red. She's the producer. Hey, where's your daddy? Thank you.
I love kids.
Anyway, is because no.
It'd be so funny if she just rages out on the chick. Shut the fuck up! Shut up!
No, I mean, I had a doctor on several months ago who was like nice enough to come on after, you know, like years ago. I remember we just ran with the Department of Health's press release about the guy, and it was a really terrible. Like, it's one of those things where I look in the mirror and I'm like, I have had to come to terms with what I have done as what exactly what you just said. Like, it's fake journalism, and
Yeah.
I'm not even trying. I'm not like trying to do journalism. Like right now, I'm just throwing this. This is the stuff that I'm getting in the chat, and it was just something I could show you that says the same thing. And the spokesman review is my old industry, so that's why I showed you that, because
Oh my God, you're just babbling at this point. Can we get the back
I
there?
had to go to zoning for the last 6 months.
I understand. I don't think it's
because
funny.
your old industry is promoting comments on nonsense blogs run by literal pedophiles. So I have to go there and I have to be called a Nazi and all this stuff by these people because I'm building a 400 square foot non-electric hunting cabin with a bunch of other people. All right. And so I have to go there and defend myself. And it's been 6 months. I had to hire a lawyer, cost thousands of dollars. Oh, all my scam money. It's so stupid. I'm somebody who's actually trying to build alternatives to the hell that you're facing. Like,
I agree.
From Rockfin, that's such a joke. I've headlined Lincoln Center. Martin from Rockfin, although I'm not mad at the guy, like I actually just think he made a
You
bad.
see how he always does this? He cannot. Again, I can't say it enough. He constantly condemns the people from his past, the people that still live the lifestyle he used to live. But in the same breath, he will brag about this awful lifestyle he lived.
Business decision. It's just this one of these crypto sites claiming free speech and getting terrified if anyone says a joke that goes against the mainstream. It's like, what do they think is coming? I'll tell you what's coming: a financial collapse, and people aren't going to have running water and heat. And then they're going to look at people like me that they called insane, and they're going to want goat milk, and I'm going to tell them to fuck off because they've spent the last 5 years talking about, oh, this guy's. Can you comment? I just want to tell your side of the story. Have you been abusing your children? It's like, my dad taught rhetoric. He taught Al Roker. He taught Seinfeld.
Owen, if I came to your farm after the apocalypse happened and I said, Owen, could I get some goat milk? And you said, fuck off. I go, you sure about that? You sure about that, Owen? You sure? You don't think maybe you gotta maybe a couple cups for me, huh? A little taste. We want a taste of the titles, huh? You're not gonna hook me up a little bit? You don't want to do a little trade, huh? Little trade.
We want a taste of the title.
A
little dirty laundry.
little dirty laundry. Stop it. You sure about that? You sure about that? I have a feeling somebody wants some Adderall. You son of a bitch. I'll let you have the whole. Tell you what. Oh, I'll let you have the whole bottle if you give me one goat.
I know how this works. Those are called rhetorical questions. Do you have any comments on the accusations that you're a Ruby Ridge Nazi? So if I do these interviews, I usually like to just know that.
I like that they tried to attack Owen by bringing up Ruby Ridge. That's my favorite part. Like, I like when I love when the left uses Ruby Ridge as this example of how private right-wing citizens that just want to be left alone are so scary. When did we rewrite that? Because I always remember growing up with Ruby Ridge being a dirty term that the government didn't want you to bring up. The media was like, let's not use that. They're using Ruby Ridge to cite an example of how Owen Benjamin's a danger, and the people in Ruby Ridge were murdered by the government. They weren't. What was the deal with that? He sold like one sawed-off shotgun. Wasn't that the reason why they shot a woman who was holding her baby with a sniper? Exactly, with a sniper rifle. They shot a woman holding her baby with a sniper rifle because Randy Weaver, I think was his name, sold a sawed-off shotgun. Oh, and they had trapped him too. That's right. I forgot about that. That's right. Wasn't like a Fed came to him and was like, yo, I really need a sawed-off shotgun? And he's like, yeah, I'll get you one. And then they murdered his wife and baby. Just fucking, and then you're like, these fucking whoop whoop Ruby Ridge types. Oh, yeah, you mean the guy whose wife and kid were murdered by the government for fucking no reason? Yeah.
But that isn't the I mean, I'll talk about anything, but that
You mean Randy Weaver, the guy that all you had to do was leave him alone? He turned them down multiple times and they waited till he was desperate. Yeah, dude.
it's just so low and gross and stupid.
Well, you didn't even let me go into why I pulled up that spokesman review article. You just
Oh, the
Or
baby
Reddit,
was okay.
you
My
brought
bad.
up a Reddit page that has spent the last 4 years trying to get me put in prison, trying to get my kids taken
I
from
didn't
me.
know that. I'm sorry.
It's crazy. It's
I
crazy.
genuinely did not know that.
Oh,
I
no,
just
journalists never know anything. They never know
I'm
anything.
not a journalist. I'm just having
get
a
it.
conversation with you on the internet.
I get it.
wasn't-
No, it's like you
I
guys
wasn't
never
trying
know.
to trap you. I swear, I was not
You
trying
guys
to trap
never
you.
know. It's just you just Forrest Gump your way into just more, trying to ruin people's lives. I get it.
That's
Anyway,
not
what else
what I
you
was
want to
trying
talk
to.
Honestly, I make fun of Owen a lot. I don't hate that phrase. Forrest Gumping your way into things is actually a pretty funny phrase. Forrest Gumping should be a verb to describe just dumb lucking your way through life. Forrest Gumping your way into things. Let's see here. I'm going to continue this, but I want to get caught up in these super chats. Starting with Yule Gibbons for 5. Thank you, says thank you, good sir. No, thank you, good sir. Robert Winsman for 2. Car fund Mersh. You need your car back. Yeah, it's not a money issue. It's like there's still. It's been a massive pain in the ass, but the fuck was that? Anyway, I do appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, I should get my car back soon enough. Mercury comp for 5. Here's a few for the new house. Looking forward to working on the pool. Can I be pool boy? Can I be pool boy verified? Thanks. Honestly, I'm getting most of my stuff over there, and like, I don't think I need much for the new place. I'm probably gonna need a new TV because I'm probably just gonna leave this one. This thing's old and beat up anyway. Probably gonna get a new TV. I'll probably get an entertainment center, and rugs. That's the most expensive thing right now that I need for my new apartment is rugs. Rugs are not cheap. And like I said last night, this place is so nice. Like real wood floors, very tall ceilings, very, very roomy, beautiful place. And the floors are very nice. And I don't, again, this is, I'm not dealing with like a property management slumlord company. I'm actually dealing with so far a very nice dude and his mom. Like, you know what I mean? Like nice old lady next to her. They're nice people. I don't want to fucking, RC says LOL Entertainment Center. Well, yeah, because I don't want to mount things to the wall in a house I don't own, so. If you go cheap, you'll regret it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I gotta, because the whole place is hardwood floors. So that means I need to get 1, 2, 3. I need to get at least 3 rugs. I need 1 for each bedroom, and then I'm going to need a big boy for the living room. Larry Rapshaw, caution, cat pee stains hardwood black. Yeah, I don't. Louis doesn't pee. Well, I mean, he does pee, obviously. But Louis doesn't pee. What the fuck was that? Hang on, I'll be right back. What the fuck was that? Oh, I can't even use this. God damn it. Where's my fucking... I hate that I still can't use fucking Stream Deck because OBS update. You fucking cocksucker. I'll be right back. Does it even work? No, that's not the right one. Please stand by. That's okay. Okay. Never mind. Cherokee girl said, will they pee in the new place? Well, like I said, Louis doesn't pee except in the litter box. Clarence still occasionally will let one loose somewhere, but I'm getting him fixed. Like I told you guys the plan. Like as I start moving my shit over to the new place and getting electric and cable set up over there and trying to get this, like trying to transition. During the transition, I'm just going to drop both my cats off at the vet and have them keep them overnight. Because Louis still got a little bit of leftover the ear problem. I need to get him checked out. Clarence still needs to get some extra blood work and some poop screening done. Louis needs poop screening. Louis needs to get fucking a little bit of gabapentin in his system, and they're going to knock him out and shave him up and clean him up and groom him and stuff, clip all their nails. I'm going to get them all fucking all set to go. And then that way I get him back. They'll be still a little groggy and doped up. He'll be fixed. Louis will be groomed. Everybody will be ready to go. And boom, right into the fucking new apartment. That's how I want to do it. You know, and it, you know, if Clarence pees and I'm gonna have to deal with it, but I don't really think that they're gonna pee too much because I have so much room now. And I'm gonna have, you know, I can have 3 litter boxes now. They're gonna be set, dude. I have 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. I have a bathroom now that I'm never going to use. So that's like, I'm going to have one room that just has a bathroom and it's literally going to be the cat bathroom. So that'll be golden. If they have enough places to go, they'll be fine. The only reason that fucking Clarence is still marking shit is because he's horny as fuck. And he still has his balls. Yeah, I know, Evelyn, I'm not going to be smoking in the new place. Like I said, these are actually very nice people who own a property. This is not some fucking evil company that takes Section 8 vouchers and doesn't even give you internet that works, you know, or a fucking bathroom that's not fucking falling apart and every fucking appliance in the house is 30 years old. These people actually are nice people with a nice place and renting me a place at a really good price. So I'm like, I ain't fucking pissed. I ain't gonna shit on these people. I shit on companies and I shit on property companies like this, and like I'll do that all day. I'll run my little schemes all day, but not on regular people, like not on regular taxpayers, you know? I ain't never put my gun on no citizen. The internet is good. The internet is good because I have my choice of internet. So I'm going to get Frontier. I got a brand new Netgear Nighthawk router modem combo. So hopefully the new place will have some, I'm hoping to have some fucking lightning internet. Oh, and I have washer dryer hookup. So that might be my next thing. I might just get a washer dryer. My apartment company sucks. Place looks like shit for what we pay. Yeah. And these are actually kind of cool people. I'm pretty sure that if I work out a deal with them, that they might give me a break on rent if I buy a washer dryer. And just say, look, I'm just going to keep this here. I'm not going to fucking take this with me when I move. I'm not moving a washer dryer when I leave, you know? Anyway, yeah, it's not an apartment building. It's basically like a little townhouse. So it's kind of dope. So you had to go to the laundromat before. No, Lifing, I have a laundry room. Like we have a laundry facility at this apartment. But to be honest, I'm not in a rush to get a washer dryer because between you guys and me, I always do my laundry at Royce's house. It's just easy. It's easier to do it, and it's easier to do my laundry when I'm already having to be somewhere doing some other shit. So it kind of works out. I usually just bring laundry to Royce's and I'll throw a load in like twice a week when I'm there, and I just keep my shit clean, and then I just fucking bring it home. But if I eventually can get a washer dryer at a good price, I want to get a washer dryer just in case, you know, little shithead does pee somewhere or whatever, you know what I mean? I can just throw shit right in a washing machine. Use one of the washing machines you make solventless hash with. I have no idea what that is. No, Royce doesn't do my laundry, stupid. I do my laundry while I'm there. I go, I dump it in the washer. We do ROTC. When I go out for the second half commercial break, I put it in the dryer, and then when I leave, I got fucking clean clothes. Let me see. Facebook Marketplace got a washer dryer for $225. I'm not buying people's old washer dryers. Royce and Marie probably hate you, Evelyn says. I don't know, probably.
No, I know. It's like that. It's not that you're trying to do it. You just don't care. You know what I'm saying?
That's not true either. You're making a lot of assumptions about me.
I'm making assumptions. You brought up the Reddit page.
I asked you a question. You didn't ask me. Find something on the internet about me. I'm sure you can find a lot of crazy stuff about me. I'm happy to answer this question.
Okay. Okay. Are you going to bring up the pictures where they put my wife's face on
No, I don't even know about all that stuff. I just wanted you to.
By the way, everybody's like, yeah, his wife does hate you. Royce's wife probably hates you. Listen, I will tell you this. She might hate me, but she don't hate the fact that we built a business that launched us all into a new tax bracket. So.
How about Tartaria? That's it.
Journalism. You're just doing journalism. I get it.
No, I'm not doing. I already said no 3 times, but I'm just trying to.
What else do you want to talk about? Go ahead.
What can we talk about? You tell me.
Anything you want. I'll talk about Reddit for the rest of the time. If you want, what they do is it's called me and my buddy came up with a whole idea of what it is. It's kind of like how you launder money. You can launder slander. So what you do is you just get a quote and then you launder it and launder it and launder it until it's like, we have proof that Owen Benjamin is a alien from Ruby Ridge. I don't know. It's fine. You can talk about whatever you want. I just don't have that much time. So it's like, if you want to talk about Reddit, we can.
Yeah, it's too bad.
I'm not running a scam, so you know.
No, I did. I honest to God, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that all that stuff had happened in the background, and I was just because I entered. You know, I have people on who have been drugged through the mud by my old industry. They oftentimes don't get a fair shake. They don't get to say it in their own words, and so I guess silly me. That's what I thought.
That's fine.
You know,
I get it. It's totally cool.
It obviously isn't because you're.
Somebody's saying this is like the Chrissy Mayer interview with Stuttering John. I was honestly noticing parallels when I was watching this too. I do have to disagree only on one thing though. Chrissy Mayer, I think, is a little nicer than this woman is. Like, it has a little bit less of like a, you know, like an angle, you know what I mean? Like ulterior motives. I think Chrissy Mayer is a little nicer, and I think Chrissy is a little more. How do I put this? She's not as like I said, not out to get somebody. You know what I mean? Whereas this bitch seems like she's really trying to get a gotcha. Whereas Chrissy Mayer with that Stuttering John thing, she just blindly walked into that like a cat walking into a sliding glass door. She didn't mean anything by it. She just said the wrong word, and it was like, oh no, here we go. You know?
No, I'm not mad at you. I'm just talking.
Really?
No, I swear to God, I'm not. I'm not mad at you. I'm just talking to your audience and for other people in the future that isn't a good move. Where you go,
okay, hey, Jim Edwards said this woman didn't steal Christmas presents.
Hey, I'm just going to tell your side of the story. What if I just grabbed a random black guy in the street and I'm like, people assume you're going to steal their bikes. Do you have any comment? You know, they'd be like, fuck you. Right?
I totally see your point. Okay, so then let me ask you this.
Bro, this is what, 3 years later, Owen? 3 years later, and you're still doing black guys stealing bikes? Jesus Christ, man. Update your fucking act. Well, I didn't finish reading these. Sorry, I should probably do that. Mercury Comp for 5. I did that. Robert Winsman for 2. Can we buy stock in Owen's land? LOL. Not going to happen. He just will throw you off. Synthetic CDOs. That's a great name. It was at that moment in that dumb restaurant with that stupid look on his face that Mark Baum realized that the whole world economy might collapse. 5 Visa helicopter. I love that fucking scene. Synthetic CDOs. That's fucking crazy. I love that scene. Steve Carell is just getting increasingly sweatier and just fucking his hair is getting crazier. Every time they cut to him, his hair is more fucked up. Wow. Synthetic CDOs. That's fucking crazy. He was so good in that fucking movie, man. He was so goddamn good in that movie.
Running a scam? Like, we just
Come
don't.
on, buddy.
You've known me for a half an hour.
Hey, come on.
I know, it's too bad. I thought you would just say that's ridiculous. Like, you know, we have all these people that we're doing weddings or this whatever, and people just trying to trash Beartaria because
right, but you're promoting Reddit. You're saying, hey, look, there's a thread. So
I'm not promoting. I
hate
when people say that just because you show something, you're promoting it. I'm just asking you because it was out. I honest to God really didn't.
It's fine.
I thought like, and you tell me, like, honestly, if I were to redo this, okay, since we're obviously just going to stay on this.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm enjoying
where
it.
we're at with what you want to talk about. What would be the best way?
Owen just made the face that Rodney Dangerfield made in Caddyshack. Here, get a load of this hat. You should come with a free bowl of soup. And he's like, looks good on you, though. He does that like, Owen just made the same face that fucking Rodney Dangerfield made in Caddyshack when he told the guy the hat looks good on you, though. He's like, yeah, no, I'm having a good time.
Would it be just to ignore it altogether?
Obviously.
Okay.
You want me to, like, if are you on BitChute? You want me to go to one of your videos right now and just start reading all the comments?
No, but that's what I'm saying. If you want to do that,
why would anyone do that? That's just like so retarded.
I'm not on BitChute though. I should be.
No, because you're still on YouTube because you're
I wouldn't get mad at you.
That's great. I used to get, when I was on YouTube, I'd have 50,000 live viewers, and I was a really good comedian, and I
was one of them.
Right, and then they kicked me off.
You didn't consistently have 50,000 live viewers, Owen. You had 50,000 at the peak when you were at peak meltdown, but you were not at 50,000 viewers. You were at 50,000 viewers like once or twice. What is BitChute, Crashman Jones asks? Exactly.
And then they kicked me off Venmo and Vimeo and PayPal and Podbean and all that. And so
buddy, come here.
It's great that you get to be on these platforms, but I don't get to. So, all right. You know what I'm saying?
Parents biscuits.
Good for you.
What you doing, pal? How you doing?
Okay.
What you doing, bud?
Okay.
If you ever say like true shit that goes against mainstream, trust me, you'll be on BitChute with the rest of the dregs of society like me.
It's gonna cut my green screen out a little bit.
Well, I really honestly, Owen, I really appreciate everything that you guys are doing at Tartaria.
Yeah.
I mean, I told you that I've really enjoyed the documentary.
That Reddit thread promoted a stalker to come to my house and take pictures of my kids.
How did I didn't know that. I just
wanted to, you know it. All it takes is you just look into it before you bring it up on your stream, right? It's not that
how would I find out that CPS was coming to your house? I don't know. People are so nuts. I didn't know that.
Right? Who knows, right? No one knows anything.
I genuinely didn't know. I genuinely didn't know.
No one knows. It's all good.
Well,
all right,
I'm
so
sorry.
if anybody wants to watch my stream,
you know what? One thing I was going to say, I never got to finish my sentence, but it does bring up a very similar issue.
Oh, I keep forgetting to finish these super chats. Robert Winsman for 2. Gavin was always evil. I agree. And then Furpinator for 5. Tim Pool is a grifter. I have to concur with that thought. And old Liver Rivers for 5. Can't wait to see you back on Twitter, big guy. If Elon went, we'll see, man. Hobo Chili Recipe for 10. Mersh, I don't know if you've seen some of the photos in Fort Myers. It looks like there's a white chapter of Boko Haram with the loose open carry. Cops are just pretending nothing to see. 07, Florida. Yeah, I mean, they're probably... Fort Myers is not a very big town. They probably are being a little loosey-goosey with the gun rules right now, but that's because, like, most of the people that are in Fort Myers are either, like, Cajun Navy or they're, like, local homeowners. Like, so, yeah. Yeah, I'm doing the coffees. Don't worry. Cybertaz for 2. Chrissy can be deceptively cunning and tactful. I'm not saying, look, that's why I'm not saying Chrissy Mayer is a fucking idiot. I'm just saying this woman clearly has an axe to grind, whereas Chrissy usually doesn't really have an axe to grind. She'll just kind of sometimes stumble into a question that pisses somebody off, and you're like, whoops. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm tallying that up, and then we'll do the coffees here right now. Hang on, guys. Goodbye, Mr. Biscuits. Okay, let's see. Let me fix my camera then if you're leaving. That's right. Don't come back. Oh, fuck. Just kidding. Love you, bud. Dennis Michaels kicking it off with a coffee. Funny he donated because I was going to mention this tonight.
If it's not too expensive.
The Stuttering John business is booming right now. Don't worry. I know you were doing it before it was cool. No, I know. We had to cover. He lost his lawsuit. We announced that on RTC today. Zen Rhino for coffee. I'm having some fine Irish whiskey out of my custom whiskey glass that Amy Staley made for me. Slancha. I don't have any whiskey tonight, or I would do a shot with you. I'm being good tonight. I have to get up early tomorrow. I have shit to do. I have a lot of shit to do tomorrow. For Pineda for coffee. So is Mershstan a thing? Not a real thing. It was a goof. But Aaron Imholt for 3 coffees. Doc Holliday. There. Now we can be friends again. Appreciate it, man. Thelonious Akita for 2. The Right Hurricane Survivor Donation Fund, right? By the way, I still hear that a Surfside gentleman who still hasn't found his rare coin collection. I know, man. My heart still goes out to the fucking, what was the guy's name? Judas Goat's Lost Coin Collection? That was a great name. Oh, let's see. Tato bought 2 coffees. This legally entitles me to partial ownership of Mershstan. There is no fucking Mershstan. Owen Benjamin's Field Coon bought a coffee. Sure is hot out here, massa. Can I get some warm goat's milk? Y'all too good to me, Big Bear. That's a little racist, but very funny. So, for that, I will allow it. Let's see. There we go. Did I get them all? I think I did them all. Let me refresh in case I didn't. Nope, I did them all. All right, we did them all. We're caught up. We'll continue with a little more Owen flipping out on this lady.
It just hasn't been in news. Like for me, it was when I was much younger and much more promiscuous. Looking back, I can't believe how many like women I hooked up with and I didn't even think about.
Wow, you're so cool, man.
You know, it's a lot like that. I'm not trying to like, but it's similar to what you just described with news, where you're like, la-di-da, I'm just going through life. Oh,
old habits die hard, you know what I mean? And you're right.
So she's talking about her career in journalism, and he turned it into a way to give himself a high five over all the pussy he got.
You're right.
This is a great episode, by the way. People are going to rewatch this and think it's legendary. So don't feel bad about this. This is the kind of conversation that people should be having, where somebody.
Yeah, I'm gonna retitle it like Owen Benjamin hands it to corporate journalism.
Yeah,
I'm not a journalist, and then people are gonna see she's not a journalist, and you just think she's a journalist, you know. Anyway, but you
make a great point because it's about carelessness. It's not about thinking, because I think a lot of people, even high up people, the conspiratorial minded people, think are trying to hurt us. Even the banks, you know, a lot of those people, I happen to know some billionaire bankers.
Oh, yeah?
And they're not sitting around rubbing their hands like we think they are, trying to figure out a way to hurt us. They just don't think about it.
Hey, Owen, name one billionaire banker friend of yours. I'll wait. I would like to know who is the millionaire banker that you're friends with. And also, don't we hate billionaire bankers? I thought we hated those guys. Oh, hand rubbing coins, remember? I thought we didn't like that. I thought we didn't like banking types. Every single time. So, what billionaire bankers are you friends with? You shouldn't be friends with those guys. Amanda Miller, source. Trust me, bro. I love that meme. Source, trust me, bro.
About it. They don't think of the repercussions, and they just keep operating based on their own like day-to-day needs. And I've been there too, and I'm sure I do it in certain ways as well. But when it comes to internet slander, I'm going to stand up for myself, and I'm going to be very direct about it.
Yeah, and you've been in the game a lot longer than I have when it comes to, like you said, just the trolling and the bots and all the just like manipulation that happens behind the scenes that like I probably still assume mostly is like real, you know, real people. And you're right, and it's not. It's all.
Here we go. Is this Is this where you got your inspiration?
I got a few things to address, and so I want everybody to be listening of the American dream. If you have documents, if you have photos, if you now, the Road Warriors, my brother Animal, come out knocking my public. He come out here, it's a privilege and an honor to walk out with Ole Anderson, Lex Luger world. I am 3 times world heavyweight.
Where's the fucking...
And that makes me the baddest of them all. Total destruction is 6'2" and weighs 280 pounds and turn around and say, man, that was awful good, but it wasn't. Built the Omni, it's Dusty Rhodes, Ole Anderson, Lex Luger.
Where's the fucking... I thought this was the...
He come out here.
I thought this was the Dined with Kings and Queens. That's the one I was looking at.
American dream. I have wined and dined with kings and queens, and I've slept in alleys and dined on pork and beans.
There it was. I have wined and dined with king and queens and slept in alleys and ate pork and beans. The American dream, Dusty Rhodes, baby. God, he was so good. He was so good. Bro, the world's greatest schlubby fat guy wrestler in history. I don't think the guy ever did a single push-up. He was a legend.
All fake, and it's a mind game, and it's easy to get sucked into. And so no, I totally, you know, my husband and I, because of we were kicked out of when our daughter was born. It was at the beginning of COVID, and we had to find a new place to live like right away because our landlord decided to sell the property. And we've been like on this kind of journey, you know, away from Seattle and out of the city.
Billy just said, what's so good about any of that? Because he got to the top of a fucking athletic business by not even being athletic. You understand? Do you understand? Like, what's more impressive? Mike Tyson knocking somebody out or Butterbean knocking somebody out? I'm more impressed when Butterbean did it.
And trying to eventually buy land and everything.
Yeah, look at this fat piece of shit knocking people out.
That saw the YouTube channel that we were getting evicted. We were just telling people like what was going on. We had to find a new place to live, and they offered their farm in Northeast Washington, and we were like headed there to see it. About to drive off with, you know, the new baby and everything, and it was gonna be a great deal. And it was on a sheep farm, and we were really excited about it. And their neighbors saw that my husband is like a human behavior professor, teacher guy for law enforcement. Like he is trying to keep cops from killing people by just saying they're scared. And, you know, I had to shoot somebody because I was scared, and they don't know what they're talking about. And so they didn't want us living next to them because they thought we were going to be like the next Ruby Ridge. Like we were bringing that. So we ended up losing housing because of that whole thing. And just what people said online. So, I mean, I lost my job last year over this podcast. So I totally I would never want to perpetuate something where somebody, you know, like has these negative real world consequences based on complete, like, even if it was real, I don't want to be necessarily the person that, but even totally if it's fake.
That feels like a bullshit excuse. Wait, so your husband works as a behavioral analyst with the law enforcement, and people thought that was going to make you guys a Ruby Ridge family, but because what, Randy Weaver was working with the law enforcement? You're leaving facts out here, lady. You're leaving some facts out here. Let me tell you right now, I will fucking, listen, I'm one of those, I love when a cop moves in. I love living in a building with a cop. As long as they stay out of my fucking business, I love living near a cop. Because that's a safe area to be in, especially, bro, if you live in a neighborhood, like if you're living in a neighborhood where like a cop gets a take-home car. I love having a across the street neighbor that has a take-home police car. Bro, I can assure you that if you live either catty corner, like diagonal, or right across the street, or right next door to a police officer that has a take-home vehicle, you are in one of the safest little fucking ratio, like in that little in that little radius, you are in the safest place to be. Because people that are walking around that neighborhood looking to start some shit are going to go, oh, I ain't fucking around here. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be breaking glass windows across the street from a cop car. Like, that's like a tweaker's not welcome sign. Exactly. You know you're going to go, all right, I'm going to go to the next block over. L7. Some law enforcement neighbors are pushy, though. I've heard stories, but I've never experienced that. I've had some neighbor cops before that have been kind of, cool. Just be cool with them. I've had cops that pretty much stay out of my fucking business. They don't want to be, look, they don't want extra work. They don't want to be fucking, A, they don't want their neighbors to all hate them. And B, they usually don't want the extra paperwork. They're not going to go out looking for work to do. You know what I mean? Dead Jester, I'm always safe because 9mm, safety, always off. Now fuck off, I got work to do.
No, I just didn't put myself in your shoes, so I understand where you're coming from. I'm sorry.
No, if it's real, if it's real, people need to be held accountable, And I'm real. But it's so blatantly not real. It's like they got my mom fired. She was a professor. She was 78 years old.
See this? All right. Old man gave me that when I was in grade 7. Seen a lot of action. 9mm. Safety always off.
Free side.
Told me he was proud of me once.
Prick.
Fucking prick.
I love that fucking. Oh, fuck Cyrus.
It's just evil, sick shit. And and you've been through it, so you get it. It's like, that's cool. Your husband does. That sounds very interesting. And good for you for accepting the firing and just keep doing your podcast. That's very commendable. But
well, they gave me the opportunity to stop doing it instead.
Doing the pod, you mean?
But that felt like a deal with the devil, and it was with the government. I was shooting wildfire videos, like just going out and interviewing firefighters for pot. They're
be like blatantly doing something. Sin.
Someone else
is this where you guys
brought
start
up
to
some really
get
good
along?
points, and I totally take them to heart, and I will be better at talking to people on.
Shut up, lady. All right, I'm done with this. Anyway, Owen had this little meltdown, and then this woman totally backtracked. But look, I just think, look, I'm tired of these like gotcha people. So I don't like, this is as Adonis Paul would call, I believe this is a hate. This is a hate. The whole situation. They all suck. She sucks. Owen sucks more. For sure, Owen sucks more. And I love the fact that he's like, what, you think I just took people's money and then made them work on my land? And I'm like, we've just watched evidence of both. That's in your documentary. Fucking asshole. Anyway.
I resent that, sir. I have never in my life done anything just for the money. If I'm lying, may the Lord strike me down right now.